You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Hey, pussy hole. It's like they have to impeach. Today I'm going to be ranking all the Citrons based on how they are in game to play, how skillful they are, which are good, which are bad, which are mid, and also a second tier list on how they are in terms of looks, design, and overall theme. So without further ado, Being the plant's tank-based character, Citron is a defensively strong character up close, in which his primary deals consistent damage of up to 12 consistently. However, this becomes weaker at range, only hitting at minimum 1 damage. His abilities are all pretty handy-dandy stuff, his peel shield being a nice solid shield ability, which you can shoot through, but zombies can't. You'd think this would make it similar to Reinhardt's shield, the team can all hide behind it. But Citron wasn't really feeling helpful today, so the shield only covers him. Wow, selfish jackass. His second ability, Citron Ball, being a mobility-based ability, in which Citron turns into a testicle, in which travels around faster than most characters. But that's not enough, because he gets 2 abilities while in testicle form. Hyper Ball, which doubles his speed for a few seconds and increases his jump height, making him more of an STD than Pea-Shooter at times. And Ball Charge, which turns Guard Morpher 2 into Wii Sports Bowling. Citron's final ability is... Citron is mostly great in solo encounters and in flanks, as his damage scales the closer you are, making him a great run and gun tank. Everything here being taken and copied in Overwatch with their hero, the Hammond Ball. Citron as a stock character is basic, being a nice strong defensive class. Gonna give Citron an A tier. There's nothing really that holds him back other than his abysmal range damage. Now, while Citron is a great character in gameplay, his design is pretty basic, mostly being just completely orange and green because he's an orange, having these sunglasses which makes him look like this cool bachelor uncle, as this guy's a bounty hunter from the future. It doesn't really look it. I mean, his cannon's the only really futuristic thing, really. The lights on his body as well when he goes into ball form is nice. The ball form for Citron is quite simple, but it's a nice simple design. It's symmetrical on all sides, which is neat. Him having a leaf goatee beard with eyebrows and a mohawk shaped hair. But overall, the design itself in terms of model is great. Color scheme is alright, but the theme could have been taken a lot further. As the game says he's a future bounty hunter, he doesn't really look it. That's the only really personal gripe I have with this character design, is that he doesn't really look futurist. He just kind of looks like an orange who thinks he's cooler than everyone else. So I'm going to give Citron design wise a B tier. There's nothing here that isn't good. It's just kind of plain, but a nice looking plain. Now take everything I said with Reg and Control-C, Control-V. Frozen Citron is so similar, I'll condense it in less than about 5 seconds. Frozen Citron deals slightly less damage with the trade-off of slowing and freezing zombies. Well done! The overall damage decrease causes the DPS to be lower, making Frozen less deadly. However, being an ice character makes him good by default, as ice is by far the strongest element in the game. Frozen goes into A tier like Reg Citron, almost a 1-for-1. The colour scheme here being a nice light blue shade, the colour being clean ice and not dirty ice similar to Ice Peas. He appears more snow-like rather than ice. The textures of the cracked peels and shell on his body look nice, and when he transforms into the ball, it does work, but it's very blandish. He doesn't build much off of Reg Citron. I mean, the hair is definitely more average mohawk than the last one, and his cannon being quite coolly designed. I'm pretty sure I make the cool ice pawn every ice variant. Ice plants compared to ice zombies just overall don't look anywhere near as nice. These eyes scare me. He looks like KO Joe from whatever that show is called. The design is a bit bland. There's not really much going on here. Could have done better on this design, like having it be a gradient of Reg Citron and Frozen Citron. I'll take it over nothing. I'm gonna give him C tier. If you're gonna give me this design, I'll take it. That's really it. Now for the one that everyone has mixed opinions on. Everyone jump out of their seats, cause it's the one, the only... Electro is the charged variant similar to Plasma P, but instead of being good, he's exactly what you tie your shoelaces into. I am not. His shots come in 3 variants. The spammable one being the no charge shot, doing minimal damage at a higher fire rate, the first charge dealing slightly more damage with an added ammo cost, and the final big boy charge that deals quote unquote massive damage, requiring an additional twin mag for how much ammo it costs. The damage scales with every charge, making him stronger per shot than the last two Citrons. In theory, in execution he's weaker. You see, Citron being a close range character, his charge primary is typically designed for ranged combat as the zoom is increased and his shots are deadly accurate, being harder to hit at closer range. His damage falling off massively after around 17 meters, which is just under mid range. His damage and chain lightning being so weak from further away it tickles zombies rather than damages them. His shots having splash damage, which up close, sure, are more useful by about 1 to 2% more useful. This character, I'm sure you know, used to be so much better than how he is now. Borderline overpowered. And now he's dealing a quarter of the damage at ranged and being overshadowed by every other Citron in the game. While his ability kit helps him out in some ways, it doesn't save the fact that this character is completely unbalanced and underpowered. Also, they missed the opportunity to call this guy Electron. Really, PopCap, did you not see easy pawn you could have made there? Yeah, I'm gonna put this guy in F tier. His primary can work if stuck directly up the zombie's chocolate starfish fudge cannon, but outside of that, he becomes so weak, you might as well swap to either another character or another variant altogether. However, there's one good thing about Electro Citron, his design. Like Frozen Citron, the colours being blue, but more dark blackish. The mask on his face is cool, it really doesn't add too much, but hey, it's a nice touch. The black mechanical look and his primary being this futuristic cannon, and the armoured peels give off an almost Transformer look, both outside and inside the ball form. The lightning striking in his body is great. The very thing I liked in the Garden Warfare 1 Power Chomper design that I'm quite upset they really altered in Garden Warfare 2. But here in Electro Citron's case, it looks just as nice. Unlike Frozen Citron being simple and just plain, he looks simple but quite nice. I'm gonna give him an A tier for design. Hey, don't skip ahead. I see you trying to skip to the next part. No, this isn't a sponsor. You think I get a sponsor? Well, we do. This video is sponsored by No, I'm kidding. Don't get mad at me. Please. Just wanted to thank you all for the support on this series. I was genuinely not expecting anyone to even care or view my video on Chompers back in June. But lo and behold, here we are 7 videos later. You guys seem to like them. I like to edit them. Yeah, that's really it. Nothing else. Thanks. Subscribe and like now, please. Well, I guess someone at EA was playing a bit too much Minecraft during development. Iron Citron has 1 shot, while his shot deals 50 damage, which becomes only 15 damage at range. Iron Citron's 1 shot seems really weak and insignificant at first, but upon playing him more, you realize he gets 2 reload upgrades.
When in doubt,
2 reload upgrades lower his reload from 2 seconds to only 1.26 seconds, causing his fire rate to increase massive, making him one of the strongest plants in the game. Not DPS wise or in group killing, but single target, he's actually very strong. That and the fact he has 250 HP. Oh, Jesus Christ, I thought Armor Chomper was bulky. On top of that, Iron has a legendary mode named Iron Mode, very creative, in which he gains 5 shots, 1 for each victim claimed to access this mode, in which these shots are fired in quick succession, which can vanquish every zombie in the game with ease. Plus, the movement speed and defense bonus he gets makes him unbeatable while in it, unless you get hard bundled by 10 zombies. His lower movement speed outside of Iron Mode doesn't really affect him, as Citron Ball still makes him pretty fast, practically still faster than most classes other than other Citrons. Outside of missing your one and only shot, this character has no flaws, which is why he deserves a spot in S tier. Do you remember what I said about somebody playing too much Minecraft? Yeah, the default Citron, but he's got a plate of armor on. While most people don't like armored characters because the metal shiny look just looks a bit ugly, this character looks elite. He's extra bulky, which definitely explains why he's got an extra 50 health on top of his 200. His weapon here looks so sexy, the best primary weapon in the game, and the peels having these spikes and bolts on them really amplifies how bulky and strong his armor is. In ball form, he also looks extremely nice. And off topic, this character has probably got some of the best ball tattoos out of all of them. The color scheme is nice, just being a typical orange and yellow with black and dark grey.
Only work in black, and sometimes very, very dark grey,
which complement each other really well as well. Iron Citron is insanely cool. Design wise, very strong, and in gameplay, one of the strongest plants in the game. He easily goes into S tier for both gameplay and design. An improved armor character compared to all the other ones. This guy laughs in view of Rock P and Armor Chomper. It is not even funny. Look! A shiny Citron! Party Citron is everything I said about Reg Citron, but it's higher damage plus speed boost plus defense when in party time. Yeah, I'm really doing this for every party character. There's nothing I can waffle, there's no slot that I can just hand to you about all the party characters. They're the same, but better and harder to get. See, he's identical to Reg, but just better. So, would you really judge me if I put him straight into S tier? No? Okay, let's move on to... Wait! But what? The design is peak! Don't move on. Jesus, I wasn't gonna forget. I was moving on. Calm down, man. You know, you get worked up sometimes. You need to... You know, I'm just saying, for the better of your health and that. Not like I know about that stuff. Just some friendly advice, you know? Like, I know you've been going through a lot. You know, you recently left your place. Had to get a new job. Hasn't been looking good for you, man. I get it. I get it. It's a tough world out there and that. But it's, you know, I'm just saying. You're gonna lash out like that. Party Citron is a party character, so he steals. The magenta and purple Citron with the neon green and pink little leopard print spots. The party mask with blue fur and neon lenses is also a nice touch because this is a customization you can unlock outside of the core design of Citron. Isn't that what we like to call creative stealing? He also has a similar model to Electro's cannon, but arguably way nicer. And the ball form is immaculate. I'm not into redesigns, but this is the exception. Party Citron, upon party time, the lights dim. All of the green and pink lights start to dim, and the blue lights glow more than before, which is a nice detail to indicate that he's in party time. Party Citron is the best designed party character of all 6, in my opinion, taking an already nice variant and just enhancing on it. Party Citron goes into S tier design-wise, like Iron Citron. Now, similar to Electro Citron, Toxic Citron is element based.
No way!
Toxic fires automatic toxic shots at zombies that have splash damage effects and deal toxic damage. Would you believe me if I said I graduated Harvard to get that information? With 20 ammo that deals around a max of 8 damage per shot, with the added toxic damage over time which resets with each shot fired, Toxic Citron really deals around 10 damage per shot up close. But like Electro, has huge fall off damage, only hitting for around 1 to 2 damage past 24 meters. He works well against both groups and weaker single target zombies, dealing huge amounts of low damage that will guarantee you at max a shared and at minimum the assist master boast if you play him right. His DPS being the second lowest of all Citrons, you'd expect him to be borderline terrible, but that really isn't the case. He is by no means amazing, but he just isn't terrible either. I'd actually say this is a more balanced Citron with an equal number of pros and cons. However, he isn't really that fun or exciting to play either, so I don't really have any bias towards him. Toxic Citron goes into C tier for me. I see him as a perfect middle ground in terms of being good and being shite. Overall, an okay-ish character that looks way better than he actually is. Simpletons don't like this guy. I'm no simpleton. The lime green look makes him appear more like an actual lime fruit than an orange, which isn't just to do with the toxic effect. I kind of feel like it was intended to do that just for the funny, because like orange and a lime are all kind of similar in themselves. The white hazmat suit around him, which is leaking green ooze, is a nice touch, with the weapon being a liquid dropper filled to the brim with toxic in it. And of course, the bronze goggles, which I think, while yes they're goofy, I think they're amazing. Toxic Citron's character design to me is fantastic. Like, he's been left to fend for himself in the sewers, which is exactly what happens in the trailer. The glow on his body is just adding to everything as a final little touch detail. Like Party Citron and Iron, I'm also putting him into S tier, and I just think this is one of the nicest looking toxic characters within the entire game. An incredibly detailed look for just a meh character overall. Alright, we've got a little bonus third tier list away. This is going to be really quick, so let's get this over with. Ball tier list. From worst to best. Frozen, Reg, Toxic, Electro, Iron, Party. There you go. I usually record the outro before even editing the video, so I have no idea how long this is. Hopefully not like 30 minutes long. The Citron as a class is so offensively powerful for a defensive character, having a handful of helpful abilities like his shield that has around an imp's amount of defensive ability, and if you're snobby enough to have the mood shield, then congrats. 2 imps. Overall, due to the power of stunning zombies and disabling their will to live, the power of turning them into bowling balls, and the power to ram your cannon so far into their anus so quickly they don't even feel it, with a shield on the side that is as effective as a pillow blocking an incoming semi-truck. However, without the ability to run off with Hyperball and being 60 tons over the weight limit, his hitbox and speed are what causes him to get lasered by the whole team if you're not in your ball or if you don't have a shield. But if played right, Citron is a powerhouse of a character who goes into A tier in my overall class tier list. Citron has it all, the epitome of a star character.
Say that again?
All star.